This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Welcome back to the show. You know, there are things we always say we want to do, but often we put it off. And one of those things might be sitting down with the people we love and letting them tell their story. Well, because one day those stories will become a treasured inheritance. And my guests today are Cameron and Valerie Akin, the creative team behind Hip Pixel Photography. Say that 5 times real fast. Through their work, though, behind the lens, they've spent years capturing weddings and families and moments that matter. But recently, their work is taking on an even deeper purpose. They're creating short documentary films with elderly family members, preserving voices, memories, laughter, wisdom, with stories that otherwise might be lost. And they're not just videos, in other words, they are living legacies. It's their way of saying your story matters and it will be remembered. So Cameron and Valerie, good to have you here. You've kind of created a new business and it's called Legacy Films.
Yes. Yep. About almost a year ago, we're coming up in July to be a year. And it started with my grandma. So we went to go visit her, and he does video production. And I was like, you know what? We need to capture my grandma.
But how did that inspiration come to you? Tell me about that.
So I called her and, let her know that we were going to be up in Branson to actually go visit his family. My family lives there.
Uh-huh.
And I called her just, last minute details. And I realized we were going to be visiting on the day, July 4th, that her mom had passed away.
Oh.
And so
kind of poignant.
Yes. And I was like, oh. And she said, I wish I could pick up the phone every day and ask her questions.
Yeah.
And so I got off the phone with her and I was like, oh my gosh, one day I'm not going to be able to ask her questions.
Yeah.
And I want to get her documented.
So I loaded up the car with all my camera equipment the day before, and we asked her some questions while she was making spaghetti.
Yeah, she was cooking,
washing
or
the
just kind of
dishes,
putzing around and doing things.
And just doing life. And it was so organic, and it was so precious. We had such a good time. It was so much fun. It was the first time I'd actually was able to meet that side of her family.
Okay.
And so came back to Waco and, edited the short documentary and just shared it on Facebook. And a lot of people said, wow, this is really special. Like, we would love to have that, for our family as well. And I said, oh, okay. And then again, another family, and then again. And I said, oh my gosh, this is kind of a business, or it could be a business.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's just the capturing of the story. That's the most important thing. So,
yeah, having that opportunity for them in their own voice, their own words,
laughter.
Yes, all those things to tell their story. But these aren't really necessarily done as, oh, I'm going to do this for the funeral, But it could be used there.
And that actually happened. So we recorded a film for Judge Felipe Reyna. And before we were done, he had passed.
Oh.
So we got the pictures from the family on Friday, and he passed on Sunday. It was the Sunday before Christmas. We were able to get the video done, and it was played at his funeral.
It's very special.
Oh, and I'm sure that was precious to the family for sure.
Yes, they were very appreciative to have it. So, and then another legacy film that we did, we filmed it, and 2 weeks later, she was put on hospice.
Oh, really?
And so it's just, you never know how short life is. And getting it documented is so important.
But it doesn't have to be an elderly person, does it? Or somebody with a terminal.
It
It's not
does
like
not.
this is your final thing.
Yes, no,
It doesn't have to
not.
be.
No, and we offer to do it at any age. So we do a building block, so we can start when you're 40 and through different times in your life and
Oh,
put all of those pieces together.
yes.
Yeah. So,
That's cool.
if a situation did occur, a terminal illness, like you want to get it done as soon as possible. So in those circumstances, you really need to get it. Let's say dementia, early onset, while they're still lucid, while they still
Right.
are sharp, do it immediately.
Recall is there.
Yes, because it fades quickly, right? But, take, for instance, a family has a business, right? And the parents founded the business when they came over from another country. And now it's grown into this great legacy, right? Well, when they pass away, the story of the business passes away. And so it's like there's so many things that you can incorporate into the legacy of the family. So, but to hearken back to what we talked about earlier with Judge Felipe Reyna, having that at the funeral is so helpful because it helps people to grieve, right? It's part of that process. And it was great for the community to see it because he meant so much to the entire Hispanic community,
Yes.
what he was able to achieve and the barriers that he broke through. I mean, it was an incredible man. And so to put all of that in the documentary, it was just so special for so many people, but especially for the family.
Yeah.
Right. Because they were instilled from day one, his values. He was able to say, look, this is what we believe in. And he drove that into their hearts. And I mean, it was like lawyer. I mean, just family members just followed in his footsteps.
Yeah.
Right. And then that hard work and dedication, it all came from him.
Yeah, he was a big believer on doing what was right. And so that was, that was a big part of his
Big
family
part of the
value.
film.
Yeah.
It's an important treasure for the family, for sure. Well, let's back up a little bit. Tell us about yourselves and how Hip Pixel Photography came about.
Yeah, so I was a high school band director for 16 years in Texas, and I was actually at Waco High School for 12 years. And when I had children, I really just wanted to have a camera to capture them and quickly realized that if you buy a fancy camera and you take pictures, that doesn't mean you're going to get good pictures. So I had just taught myself on YouTube. And then, of course, that turned into families and weddings. And then the brides started asking about wedding video. And I said, okay, I can do video. Well, then I realized I'm spending more time photographing than I'm spending with my own family. So I decided to put all my eggs in one basket and just go full time with my cameras. And got to meet Valerie, hired her to help me shoot a wedding. And so kind of the rest is history. So, yeah.
So how did you meet? You said,
So I had a wedding in, I think maybe it was like in 2018. And so she helped me photograph a couple of weddings. And then I went to go get braces in my early 40s. And she was there to put on my braces. And
you were working for a dentist? An orthodontist? Yeah.
I
was like, I
his
thought you were a
braces.
photographer.
How funny.
But she was an orthodontist assistant.
Yeah.
And so she put on my braces. Yeah. So that's how we met.
Really? I
fun.
did not know that.
Yeah.
So you just did the photography for fun too?
Yes.
Tell me how you got started.
So that is also a funny story. I've always done photography. My first camera was a 110 Lion King camera that I got for my 13th birthday. I didn't know it, but through the Legacy film, I learned that photography actually runs in our family. So my grandma was a photographer. My mom always had a camera. And then my grandma's dad was a photographer, and she used to help him do the film, what's
Processing.
it? Processing it.
In the dark.
Right, within
The
the dark room and the
room,
whole
yeah.
thing. Yeah. Oh, really?
So there's a picture that's in the film that my grandma took when she was 10 years old.
Oh.
And it's a good photo. It was hanging on the wall, and we were looking at it and just admiring. Like, it was just such a good photo.
What a landscape? What was it of?
It was of
He
her
was
father.
sitting, yeah, he was sitting on a rock.
Oh.
And he was just positioned perfectly.
The
and
lighting.
The lighting was great. Yeah.
And I looked at the photo and I said, "That's such a great photo. Is that your father?" And she said, "It is. I took that when I was 10. And I'm like, "What?
Wow.
You're a photographer?" And we learned this in the legacy film. See, this is the things that you don't know.
Yes.
You learn so much just asking these questions. And this is another thing. Sometimes it takes like a third party for a person to open up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, let's say
They might
Grandpa-
think, oh, they've all heard this before. Or they don't, and they may have, but don't
Or-
weren't listening or whatever, you know.
You know, grandparents, sometimes they go to war and they don't want to talk about
Well, then there's
anything.
that. Yes, our veterans definitely
Yeah.
have a difficult time talking
And so,
about it.
you know, when somebody else comes in and they start asking them questions and you create that rapport, they will open up and they will tell you some things that, you know, maybe family members don't get to hear.
Mm.
And so you get to see a different side.
And just the difference between a family member and someone else coming in. I tried so hard to get my grandma to put on that microphone. I'm like, "Grandma, I need you to put this on." And she didn't have anything to do with me. I was like, "Grandma, I need you to put this on."
Put this on.
Ignored me. And I was like, "This is you." He's like, "Okay, Grandma, we're going to put this on." And she's
We're
like,
gonna
"Okay."
pin this on you.
And immediately she's like, "Okay, where would you like to put it?" It was fun.
Oh man, I love this. So what have you learned about the power of preserving memories?
So one of the things that I've learned is that just through my own story, even just with my mom, I've learned that she is a human. She's a person, and getting to know pieces of her makes her more personable and more, just more emotional to know that she did the best that she could in where she was at. And hearing the stories of even her childhood makes you just realize that she's just human. Like, that's your mom, but she's just human. And so that was really nice.
I guess, you know, for me, listening and connecting with these people of a generation, they are literally taking you back in time to a place that you've never been, a time you've never known, a simpler time. And just that is so eye-opening and so fun and fascinating. And then to hear it in their words, right? Like talking about a switchboard. I mean, most people don't even know what a switchboard is.
Yeah.
And you know, how did you meet your husband? Well, he was washing my windows. You know, like things like
At the
that. You're
gas
like,
station,
Yeah,
yeah.
at the gas station. I'm like,
Oh,
they, don't, they don't do that anymore.
No.
So it's fascinating to hear those stories, anecdotes. But I guess way more important than that is the principles. It's the ethics, the guiding principles that essentially a family holds dear, near and dear. And when that is passed down, it kind of galvanizes the entire family. So it's hard to put into words, to be honest.
Yeah, it is a family story, though. Yeah. So the impetus for doing this, though, was when you realized you were going to have the opportunity to visit with an elderly family member, and we've got a car full of equipment. You know, what it would not be good if we missed this opportunity. So I guess it is kind of a matter of taking a hold of those opportunities, right?
Yes. Yeah. My grandma is 92.
Yeah.
She's been in my life my entire life. I take for granted that she's going to be around forever because she's always been here.
Right.
But life that's not how it works. And at 92, she still drives, she still cooks, she still does everything. And so I wanted to make sure that I took the opportunity now when she was so healthy to capture her laugh about when she says, I didn't even like him when I met him. Talking about her husband.
Not talking about your husband.
Yeah. Talking about her husband. She just has so much spice.
Yeah.
She's
And
spicy.
it was like, oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
About, again.
That's maybe where I get it from.
That's
Yeah, and I did ask that. I said, "Oh, maybe Valerie took some traits from you." But I was going to say this. A lot of the times, people will reach out to us and they say, we really want to capture this person's story, and unfortunately, it's in such late stages that they're not able to articulate all of the things that happened and the emotion behind it, and yes, that story is still there and it's still to be told, but the sooner the better.
Mm-hmm.
You just really got to take advantage of hearing those stories while they can tell it in a compelling way.
So much more I want to hear from you about that. In fact, I want you to kind of walk me through what a session would look like, and we'll do that when we come back. Going to take a break. I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, your friend in the car business. Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Alan Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
If I had somebody that was looking for a car, I would definitely recommend Allen Samuels. The trust that I have, the care that they take, they genuinely want to take care of you. They really ask for your feedback when you go to the support department to make sure they're taking care of you in every way possible. So I really appreciate that they listen to your feedback.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Okay. You wouldn't read my letters when I wrote you, and you asked me not to call you on the phone. But there's something I'm longing to tell you, so I wrote it in the words of a song. I didn't know God made honky-tonk angels I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you and went back to the wild side of life. But in 1947, there was a woman that come out and she wanted to play country music. And it was hard for a woman to get in it then. But she didn't like what that song said at all. So she came out with her own. Her name was Kitty Wells. Hank said he thought she made more money than he did. It went like this, kind of. As I sat here tonight, the jukebox playing a song about your wild side of life, and I listen to the words you're saying. It brings memories when I was a trusting wife. It wasn't God who made honky-tonk angels, as you said in the words of your song. Too many times married men think they're single, and it caused many a good girl to go wrong. I didn't know God made honky-tonk angels, as you said in the words of your song. Too many times married men think they're single and go back to the wild side of life.
The Riesel Fair is back and bigger than ever. Bring the whole family for a day packed with fun, from thrilling rides, delicious food, local vendors, and live music Friday night. Saturday music begins at 2 p.m. Admission is $5 for adults, 2 to 12 years, $3. 2 and under are free. Mark your calendar and join us for the Riesel Fair, May 7th through 9th. The Riesel Fair, where memories are waiting just for you.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit angles90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Alan Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
And we are back with Cameron and Valerie Akin of Legacy Films, which is a kind of a offshoot of Hip Pixel photography. So you still do plenty of weddings and all those kinds of things?
Actually,
are you kind of?
It's actually morphed. So about 10 years ago, I created Hip Pixel Media.
Okay.
So Hip Pixel Photography is weddings. It's just weddings.
Okay.
And I've actually wound that business down, and we only have 2 weddings this year. In fact, we have one Saturday and then one on May 1st. And then that may be our last wedding.
Oh.
And so for the past 10 years,
Because they're pretty labor intensive.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a young man's game a little bit. And so after 200 weddings, I've put in my time.
Yeah.
And I
wow.
love weddings.
And your work is just spectacular.
I love
Beautiful.
weddings.
So beautiful. Yeah.
But I think it's time to move on.
Okay. And that's good.
And that's great. And we all go through these seasons in life. So Hip Pixel Media is focused on businesses. So it's 85% video. So social media, website videos, things like that. That is the majority of Hip Pixel Media.
Okay.
But now we have Legacy Films. Thank you for that. And so that's it's a different side of the business, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
So I can walk you through what that looks like.
So all right. So there and also I understand there are different pricing categories depending on the film that the family wants. So we'll talk about that too.
Sure.
But what happens when you are booked to do an interview with someone?
Well, the first thing that's really important is just to sit down with the family and to just listen to them and hear kind of a broad 30,000-foot view overview of what their life looked like, right? So kind of get some logistics and just kind of lay the land, because from that, then we're able to go and create really good open-ended questions. Because, everybody has a different level. I don't know how to say this, but
A sensitivity.
A
A sensitivity
yeah.
on what they're willing to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What their family
sure that's
background
true.
was.
And you don't want to make somebody mad
No.
or uncomfortable.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
And he's so good about being able to talk to people and pull that out of them.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And so that's really great to see.
Yeah.
But it just all starts with a conversation.
So we come up with those list of questions, and then depending on what collection they choose, it depends on how many people we interview. So starting at the very low end, it's essentially a camera, some great lighting, audio, and we just capture their story. And it takes about an hour, hour and a half. Okay. And then we just give that video unedited to the family. And that's
wow. Okay. So no
the least-
pictures or any of that kind of thing.
None
no
of that.
editing
It's just recording them.
Okay.
It looks and sounds amazing, but it's just their story.
Okay.
And it's just unedited so that they have that forever. That's $1,500. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's $4,000, and that comes with everything. So essentially, we have, of course, the person that we're filming, and then we film 3 of the most important family members to add to that story, and then 50 pictures we digitize for old family albums, and then any VHS tapes or 8 millimeter.
Oh my goodness, because there's so much of that
Oh yes.
that you have machines you can
And then
see it on. It's pretty amazing.
we capture something called B-roll, which you may be familiar with.
Yeah.
It's essentially is footage of them maybe mowing the lawn, or out shopping, or with their bridge club or whatever. So we just capture them in their environment.
Life is like.
Doing life.
Wow.
And then we put that all together into a documentary. And so that's like the big package.
And while he's there doing the recording, I'm behind the scenes doing photos. And so the family gets all of those too. And I always do a family photo at the end for everybody.
And also in
that's
that,
neat.
we give them the unedited interviews as well.
That's
So
amazing.
They have we have everything.
Yeah.
And then there's a package in the middle that's $2,500, and it is obviously the legacy film for the person, and then one other family member, a few less pictures, and then no old family footage. And that documentary is a little bit shorter. It's like the 6-minute-ish, and then the longer.
Yeah, I was
one's
going to
about-
ask how long these tend to be.
Yeah, the $4,000 package is about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And it's
And it's so watchable.
Right.
It doesn't even feel like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that if they're on the fence of doing this, start with the lower package. We can always adjust. Just
to it.
get the person videoed now.
There was one other thing I forgot to throw in on the larger package. We also create about a 1 to 2 minute social media reel, vertical instead of landscape, so
Okay.
that they can share that on social media as well.
Good,
So that
yeah.
also comes with it too.
Oh, that's cool. That is very cool. Now you say you kind of customize the questions after your initial, conversation with them. But are there sort of typical questions that you ask everybody?
You ask questions like, when you were growing up, what was your first car? Or were you a good student? Or like, did you ever get in trouble? And fun questions like that.
And so I guess, have you been surprised? Everybody been surprised? I did not know he did that when he was a
I
kid.
did a legacy film for my mother. And she talked about smoking in the outhouse, and they all got caught. And
my goodness.
I thought that was pretty fun. Yeah.
I love it. So, it's not everybody's comfort zone to be on camera, to be questioned and that kind of thing. How do you put them at ease? Do you have a trick?
Well, first of all, we'll just say everybody says that.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody says, "Oh, I could never. It's too daunting, or it's too much pressure."
Yeah.
But it is totally just a conversation. So I guess I would say kind of my superpower is just quickly forming a relationship with people and getting them comfortable. And then we just talk. And yes, there are big lights and there are big microphones and there are multiple cameras rolling, but like it all just fades into the background and we just connect. And it's so fun. It's so fun.
I will say the last legacy film that we just filmed, the grandkids did not want to be on camera at all.
Really?
So it was just going to end up being one person interviewed, and by the end of it, 4 people ended up being interviewed on camera.
Ask me questions.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So, you know, we interviewed her daughter and they saw her answer those questions and they said, oh, I have to.
But I got more.
You have to interview me. I want to get, and you know what? Her grandsons, they cried on camera.
Aww.
They were so vulnerable and real and authentic, and it was just beautiful. They love their grandmother.
And this legacy film, she actually was there to watch the interviews because she wanted to see the interviews because she wasn't sure if she was going to make it to see the end of the film.
Oh.
So she was there during the interviews, and it was so sweet. They talked about how she put peanut butter on their pancakes. I mean, it was fun, sweet stuff. Remembering how, you know, grandma was always the one that was there and hung out with them while mom had to work. And it was sweet.
And, you know, they're over there barbecuing hamburgers and hot dogs, and I'm just filming all of it.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to go into the documentary, and we should be finished with it pretty soon. And so I'm excited when that's going to drop. So.
And that's another thing. We get to be part of these people's families.
Yeah.
Like we're included.
You're the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting to enjoy it.
They cook us lunch. Like they invite us,
You probably gotten some good food out of it.
Yes.
We've gotten some good
We just
food
get
out of it.
invited right in there. And that's probably one of the most precious things is that I do this because I care so much about these stories. And so to be included in these people's families while we're doing it means so much.
Well, you know, to take it one step further, there really is something sacred about being a part of telling their story. Why is that so important now?
More than ever, you know, everything is on a phone. You know, we're all so consumed with the minutia of every day, and to stop and to just listen. Like that is an art form, and to hear what they have to say and to make them feel seen. They have literally sacrificed everything for our families, right? They have literally brought us from, you know, nowhere in a lot of cases, and we owe them this. We owe them to hear their story and to make them feel valued because they are invaluable.
Absolutely. What do you find families realize after going through the process? Aside from hearing that mom got caught smoking back.
I think, well, a couple of things. First of all, every single time you watch the legacy film, you're going to see something that you didn't see before. So
Yes, that happened with me. I still watch my grandma's film.
Do you?
Like, I still watch
And
it.
she's still fine. She's doing
Yep,
well.
she's still doing
good,
great.
Good, good.
Yeah.
But I would say another thing is, you know, I said how people are saying, oh, I could never do this. This is too difficult. I'm not a good speaker. After everybody does the legacy film, they talk about how much fun it was, how they enjoyed the process, and how they just loved thinking back. Because when someone asks you all of these questions, you really have to go back. You have to go back in your Rolodex and really think about all of those emotions that came along with whatever happened. And so just going through that process is so fun.
Oh, yeah. Have you perhaps even seen relationships change as a result of this process?
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't talk about it right now. But yes, we have. And there's a surprise that will be coming out, but we we cannot disclose it yet. But yes, relationships have changed, and that's been so magical to see.
Wow.
So kind of
I mean, because sometimes there are pretty major rifts in families.
exactly, if families can be estranged.
Mhm.
Family members can move away to different states.
Right.
And,
Distance can cause that.
when they get a chance to see their grandparent or their father or their mother in a different light, see them as human, like what Valerie was saying, it can help to repair and possibly even reconnect. And so, I talked about the grieving process and using it for that, but, using it for estranged family members.
Oh, man. Yeah. So I can imagine these sessions can be emotional.
We
how
have
do
cried.
How do you, no, I guess that wasn't a surprise to you, or how do you kind of handle that?
Well, we just cry right along with them.
There you go.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pouring their heart out to us. It's so magical and just nothing that we would get in any other type of work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
meaningful
Yeah.
to be able to put all of those pieces together and to make something so beautiful. Because there can be real pain, that people can let you, tell you about. And so to make it in such a positive experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a moment from one of the documentaries you've done so far that really kind of sticks with you?
This is the cool thing. Every documentary is so different,
Mhm.
right? You look at Felipe Reina, his family came from nothing. They were so poor, and he was essentially the second highest judge in the state of Texas. He was sweeping floors in the McLennan County Courthouse, and then was the chief, 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. What
I
a
know.
cool story, right?
Yeah. And it's been told before. I mean,
it has
journalists certainly have.
been.
There's a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the book.
Right.
And now there's a documentary.
Yeah, but now there's a documentary, yeah.
You juxtapose that with, a documentary when, she was a waitress at Denny's.
Yeah.
And she talked about how she used to work at this, office crunching numbers. And I just love hearing about everybody's story and how the adversity that they went through and how they overcame it, and the mistakes that they made, and how they were able to basically make the very best of their mistakes. And it's just so wonderful.
Yeah,
So-
we learn a lot of life lessons through failures, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the best way to learn.
Yeah, yeah. For someone listening, I need to do this with my parent or grandparent. So how do they start?
The best way is to just contact us through Legacy, or it's a
hippixellegacyfilms.com.
Okay. We didn't practice that. We didn't. Yeah. hippixellegacyfilms.com. I'm sure there will be a link somewhere in the notes for this show. But reach out to us.
Facebook, you can go and look and get connected with us, stay in contact.
Message us.
And they can see maybe even sample reels of like what you do.
Definitely, yeah. And, we're adding more and more. But the process does take about 6 weeks from beginning to end. So,
okay, so it's not a real fast turnaround.
Yeah, it takes a little. So honestly, the hardest part is the editing.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's editing.
you've got literally hours and hours and hours of interviews, and then you've got
photographs and
VHS tapes and 8mm that you have to digitize. That process takes a while, but in the end, you have something that is priceless.
Mm-hmm. So how has this whole process changed the way you think about your own families?
I was just thinking about that today. We don't have a legacy film, and we need to at least start one.
Yeah. I would say just being more intentional about your relationships. You go through life and there's a lot of things that can get in the way, but to know, the people that you love and to tell them that you love them and to spend time with them and to put your phone down. The intentionality of it. That's what I would say that has kind of helped me to see the importance of that.
Okay, so if our viewer or listener could take away one thing, what do you want them to take away from our conversation today?
Don't wait. Don't put it off. We get phone calls and messages, cancer, dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're in a mad dash, a rush to capture that person's story as soon as possible. How about do it when they're 100%?
Yeah.
Right? Just don't wait. Let's capture their story. And then if we need to wait and film the rest of the family later,
right.
If money is an issue, we can capture them later.
Do it in pieces.
Yeah, do it
if
in
you
pieces.
need to.
Exactly. But capture their story now.
Yeah.
While they can.
And that's another thing. I want to make a video of how they can do it even with their own phone.
Yes.
So they can
how
capture
to.
and you know how to get the best lighting and the best sound.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's something that we're going to be working on.
I mean, not every family has a budget that can, put money towards a legacy film.
Yeah.
But every family needs to be captured.
They need to be doing this.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
For sure.
And then some families, they decide to have each leg of the family split the cost. So if that's that's always an option as well.
Pool resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I referred someone to you. We had talked earlier, and he called with talking about a mutual friend, and so I hope that does happen for them. I said, well, I know some people that can handle that.
Yes, we need to follow
so
up.
Excited.
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully, I'd like to have y'all come back. If that can happen. And kind of talk about the process to give another perspective of what Legacy Films is doing. It's a very important work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing, Cameron and Valerie. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com. Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
What is Spanish?
Well, Hank, let's talk about your daddy. Tell me how your mama loved that man. Just break out a bottle, hoss. Tell you about the 15 Cowboy Band. We won't talk about the habits, just the music and the man. Well, Hank, you just gotta tell me, did your daddy really write all them songs? Did he? I don't deserve no answer, hoss. Just slide up and just move along. Do you think he wrote 'em about your mama? About the man that done her wrong? That's enough of that. Back then they called him crazy. Nowadays they're calling him a saint. But the ones that called him crazy are still riding on his name. Well, if he was here right now, Bocephus, would you think that we were right? Do you think he might? Don't you know we would, Waltosha, be right here by our side? If we left for a show in Provo, be the first one on the bus, ready to ride. That's one to go, hoss. Wherever he is, I hope he's happy, and I hope he's doing well. He got one arm around my mama now. Sure did love me salt and raising hell. I won't ask you no more questions, if the story's only Hank can tell. Back then they called him crazy. Nowadays they're calling him a saint. Most folks don't know that they fired him from the Opry. That caused his greatest pain. I want to tell you about Lovesick, how Miss Audrey loved that man. You know, I always love to listen to the stories about the drifting cowboy band and the man. When you get right down to it, still the most wanted outlaw in the land.
If I had somebody that was looking for a car, I would definitely recommend Alan Samuels. The trust that I have, the care that they take, they genuinely want to take care of you. They really ask for your feedback when you go to the support department to make sure they're taking care of you in every way possible. So I really appreciate that they listen to your feedback.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
This is a Rogue Media Network production.